Join Kids Hut family. Hello, Tofu.
Hi, Tia.
Tofu, I need your help. I'm at school and I'm gonna stay here till late for the drama club. Will you please go over to Mrs. John's house and water her plants for her and feed her fish?
Oh no, Tia. I don't want to. I've just made fresh popcorn for myself and I want to watch some TV at home.
You don't have to go right away, Tofu. You can go after your popcorn is over.
Okay.
Just as his wife had said, she bounced at the first. Hi, Tofu. Was everything okay at Mrs. John's?
Mrs. John's? Oh, I didn't go. I didn't feel like it.
Tofu, how could you? You told me that you will go.
Yes, but why do I have to do your work, Tia?
Let me tell you why. Once upon a time, a little prince lived alone on a comet. The comet was his home and he took care of it. Every day he cleaned the volcanoes and trimmed the tree roots. One day, a seed fell on his comet and grew into a flower. You are so beautiful. I will always take care of you and protect you, and I will call you Rose.
Thank you.
From then on, Rose and the prince would always spend their time together. But as time went by, the prince stopped liking the fact that Rose always wanted his attention and care. He could not understand why she behaved like that. He started feeling he should make more friends. And so, he left Rose behind and went around the universe to make more friends. He stopped at the first planet that came his way. A king lived alone on that planet. I am so happy that you came here. Now I have someone to rule over. And so, the king started ordering the little prince around. The little prince was not used to it. Nobody ever spoke to him like that. Friends don't order around. I must leave this planet and find another friend. The prince left the king's planet and came to another planet. Here, he met a very well-dressed man. The man lived alone on the planet. Welcome, little prince. I am happy that you have come to my planet. Now I have someone who can admire me. And so the man kept asking the prince for compliments for everything. When the prince wouldn't admire him or praise him for his actions, he would get upset with the prince. Friends cannot like each other just because of compliments. There must be more to friendship. I must leave this planet and go find another friend. The prince left the second planet and arrived on the third one. Where he met an old man who had a lot of books. What are all these books? I am a geographer. I write about the seas, hills, mountains, and plains. Tell me about your planet and I will write about it. Can you write about Rose and me? I only write about things that last forever. Hence, I cannot write about you two. The prince felt sad that he and Rose were not eternal. He felt that the geographer did not care much about him and his friend, and so he left this planet too. And arrived on the one called Earth. There he met a fox. Will you be my friend?
You must tame me first.
Tame? What is that? It is where you create a bond with me, you care for me, and we connect with each other. Otherwise, you are just a boy to me like million others and I am just a fox to you. The boy understood that is what Rose had been doing. She was taming me. She was making bonds with me. I have made a mistake. I must go back home to my Rose. The prince immediately returned home. There he found Rose and hugged her tight. I will always be with you. I am responsible.
I am sorry, Tia. I did not respect our bonds. You always take care of me. I could have done this for you.
It's okay, Tofu. I will go there now and we'll have dinner together. Okay?
Oh, wait. I'll also come with you and help you.
Okay, let's go together.
Tia, today our teacher spoke to us about putting others first before our own needs.
That's very nice.
Tell me something, Tia. Even if it makes them unhappy, do people put others before their own needs?
Some people who have a really nice heart do. I remember the story of the happy prince. Do you want to hear it, Tofu?
Yes.
Once upon a time, a beautiful golden statue of the most beautiful smiling prince stood in the town center. It was covered with gold leaves and had eyes made of blue sapphire. It had a huge red ruby on the hilt of its sword. Everyone who ever saw the happy prince fell in love with it. The baker, whose flour had just fallen on the floor, saw it and said,
"Oh, happy prince, I wish I could always be happy like him. From now on, I will."
The schoolgirl, whose mother wouldn't buy her ice cream, saw the happy prince and said,
Oh, the happy prince. I wish I could always be like him. From now on, I will.
At the same time, in the forest near the city, a swallow asked his new bride,
My love, all our friends have left for Egypt for the winters. There, they will see the Pharaoh's palace and bask in the sun in the royal gardens. They will enjoy many fruits and berries of different kinds. We must join them there.
But his bride just nodded her head to say no.
We will come back after the winters. You must let go of your attachment with this home and dwelling.
Bride again nods no.
You are being foolish, my new bride, but I must go. My friends wait for me.
And so the swallow flies away. After a whole day of flying, he is halfway through the happy princess city and then begins to feel tired.
I think I will rest the night here and start again for Egypt tomorrow. This golden statue is very beautiful. I will rest between his feet.
Just as the swallow was about to sleep, a large drop of water fell on him.
What? Where did this come from? The sky is clear.
Just as the swallow was getting ready to sleep again, another large drop of water fell on him. When he looked up, he saw that the prince was crying.
Who are you?
I am the happy prince.
Why are you crying then?
I lived in the city palace once. I was always happy. I had no reason to be sad because I knew my people were happy too. When I died, they made a golden statue of me and put me here. From here, I can see the sadness of my people, and my heart, though it's made of lead, feels sad.
What do you see, a golden prince?
Far away, I can see a seamstress. Her fingers are red and bloody from endless stitching. Next to her, on a bed, is a little boy. He is sick with fever and is crying out for oranges. But the seamstress doesn't have anything other than river water to give him. Oh, swallow, take the ruby from my sword and give it to her.
No, I have to go to Egypt. I cannot stay. And if I go to the seamstress's house, I won't be able to reach Egypt.
Please, swallow, the child is very thirsty.
Well, okay. I will go.
So the swallow took the ruby from the hilt of the prince's sword and flew to the seamstress's house. By the time he got there, the tired seamstress had fallen asleep on her working table. So the swallow kept the ruby on the table. Then he flew around the sick boy's bed, flapping his wings. I feel so much cooler. I think I must be getting better. By the time the swallow returned, it was the next night. I will now go to Egypt. But the prince was crying again. I can see a hard-working man filled with despair. He is a writer and must finish his next play soon. But he is tired because he has no food to eat. Won't you stay another night and help that man?
Okay, one night it is. Should I take another ruby to him?
Alas, I have no ruby to give him now, but my eyes are made of sapphire. Take one of my eyes.
No, no, I cannot do that.
But I order you to do so.
And so the swallow plucked out the prince's eye and flew away to the writer's house. By the time he reached there, the writer had fainted out of hunger and cold. The kind swallow put the sapphire on the writer's desk and collected dry twigs and lit a fire for the writer before he flew back to the prince. When he returned to the prince, it was the next night again. And once again, the prince was tearful.
What is wrong, Prince?
In the square, I can see a match girl crying. All her matches have fallen into the gutter and got spoiled. No one will buy them now. She's afraid her father will be angry when she goes home without any money. Please, swallow, take my other eye and give it to her.
No, no, I cannot do that. You will become blind.
But I order you to do so.
And so the swallow plucked out the prince's other eye and took it to the little girl. The girl became very happy when she saw the stone and went home skipping. The swallow returned to the prince.
Now you can go to Egypt, my friend.
No, now I cannot go, my friend. I will stay here and become your eyes.
So the swallow stayed by the prince. Every day he would fly over the city and tell the prince the sorry tales he saw. The prince would then tell the swallow to pluck out a gold leaf from his body and give it to the poor people of his city. Soon, there were no leaves left on the body of the prince. All that was left was his cold gray body. It kept getting colder as the winters kept setting in and the weather kept getting chillier. The swallow knew that he will not survive the season much longer.
My friend, it is time for me to go.
Finally, you're going to Egypt.
Not Egypt, but towards death.
Isn't it like sleep after all? But before I go, can I kiss you?
I will once again be sad without you. Kiss me before you go.
And so the frail swallow kissed the prince and fell at his feet dead. Suddenly, there was a loud sound like a crack. It was the sound of breaking of the prince's lead heart. In the morning, the mayor of the city crossed the statue.
What an ugly statue! And it has a dead bird at its feet too. Break it down immediately and put up my statue instead.
A few hours later, when the mayor's men broke the statue apart, they found the two pieces of the prince's heart, and they threw it into the bin next to the dead swallow. That's when God said to his angels,
Bring me the most precious two things in the world.
and they took the dead swallow and the prince's broken heart to God.
Well chosen, my angels. From now on, the swallow will sing in my heaven, and the prince will praise my ways.
So you see, Tofu, even if you forgo some happiness by putting others before you, there are always better things waiting for you.
Yes, Tia. Now I understand what my teacher was talking about.
Good morning, Tofu.
Good morning, Tia.
Are you all right, Tofu?
Yes, but I'm worried about my friend Sam.
Who is that? And why are you so worried about him?
Sam is new to our school. He joined my class last week. I like him very much. But some other boys have been lying about him, saying that he is not a nice boy.
Oh, that's bad. And are you sad because he is your friend?
Yes, I want people to see how good Sam is. And I don't know how to make it happen.
If Sam is a good person, then I don't think you have anything to worry about, Tofu.
I don't understand. Why?
Let me explain it to you with the story I know. The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time, a young prince wanted to get married. So he went around the world looking for the right princess to marry. Alas, he found none. Something or the other was always amiss in all the princesses he met to be a true princess to his people. One stormy night, after the prince came back home, he and his family were having their dinner. When there was a commotion outside the castle door. The queen went to see what was going on. What is the matter, guard?
There is a young girl at the door, Your Highness. She says she is a princess.
Intrigued, the queen went to see the princess. When she got there, she was surprised to see a young girl drenched from head to toe.
Who are you?
I am a princess. I was passing through when the storm and lightning spooked the horses and they dragged my carriage into slush and mud. My men are still with the carriage trying to repair it. I have walked many miles to reach here.
Nobody who looked at the young girl could believe that she could ever be a princess. She didn't look anything like a princess. With her hair disheveled and clothes and shoes full of mud, she looked like a poor peasant girl. You are welcome to stay here, O princess. My maids will prepare a royal room and arrange for a hot bath and dry clothes for you. Do join us for supper once you feel better. Come on in.
Thank you very much, Your Highness.
By the time the queen returned to the dining table to join her family, the prince had been informed about the stranger at the door and the queen's decision.
Mother, do you really believe that she is a princess?
Her appearance betrays her, but her eyes shine with courage, and there is humility and grace in her behavior, just like that of a princess. However, we must wait till tomorrow morning to know whether she is really a princess or not. Saying so, the queen retired from the dinner table and went up to the room that was being prepared for the princess.
Your Highness, the princess is in the bath. We are preparing the bed for her.
Very well. Fetch me 20 of the softest mattresses that the castle has to offer.
Yes, Your Highness.
Once the maids had left, the queen took out a pea from her pocket and placed it right in the middle of the princess's bed. When the maids returned with the mattresses, she ordered them to place them on the top of the pea. That night, the princess slept on her special bed. But she had a sleepless night. She kept tossing and turning all night long. In the morning, she joined the queen for breakfast. How are you, my dear?
I am well, thank you.
But you look so tired. Is something wrong? You must tell me.
Forgive me, Your Highness. I do not wish to sound like an ungrateful guest, but I haven't slept all night. My bed was really soft, but something kept poking me in the back, and I had bruises all over.
The queen smiled happily because she knew that the girl in front of her was a true princess. Only a real princess who has lived all her life in comfort can feel a small pea kept 20 mattresses below her and only a kind princess would not mention her discomfort unless asked to do so. Son, she is the one you have been looking for. Soon the prince was married to the princess of his dreams, and they happily lived in the kingdom where all the people loved and respected them both a lot.
Wow, Tia! No matter where the princess would have gone, people would have always recognized her because of her behavior.
Exactly, Tofu. And the same thing applies to your friend Sam. If he is a good person, soon people will be able to see that in him. And if he's not, people will be able to see that also.
Yes, you are right, Tia. I don't think I have to worry about him anymore. I am sure everyone will see his truth soon. Tia, yesterday in our class, my friend Ben forgot to bring one of his textbooks, and Ted offered to share his textbook with him. Ben promised Ted to help him in learning football after school. But after school, when Ted asked Ben to help as promised, instead of helping, Ben left for his home.
That's bad. One should always stand by their promises.
But Tia, today again Ben forgot his textbook, and when he asked Ted to help, Ted refused.
Tofu, we should be sensitive towards every human being. You know, we should always help people around. Come, I'll tell you a story. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful princess in the kingdom of a very humble king. The princess was so pampered by her father that she turned out to be a little proud of the fact that she is a princess. Many a times the king asked her to be more humble towards the people around her, because that's the way a princess should be.
I know, my little princess, that you are my pampered child. But you should be little more empathetic towards other people. Everybody is same. It's just that some are fortunate, some are not.
But the princess just ignored what her father had to say and went out to play with the golden ball that her father had gifted her on her birthday. She loved the ball, but no sooner had she started playing that her ball bounced and went into a pond.
Oh God, my favorite golden ball! I would give anything to get back my favorite ball. Anything!
Hearing the princess cry out loudly, a frog leaped up and sat on a lotus leaf and said,
Princess, I just saw what happened.
I will get the golden ball back for you, but you have to promise me something. How in the world did the slimy frog talk? The princess only wanted her ball back, so she hurriedly said yes.
What is it that you want in return?
I want you to take me back to your palace and pamper me. I would eat with you, play with you, and sleep in bed with you. The princess was horrified at the very idea and had no intention of doing any such thing. She agreed to the condition as she thought the frog would not be able to reach the palace on his own, and she had no intention of taking him along with her. She told him to hurry and get the ball back, and waited with bated breath for her golden ball. The frog jumped into the pond and in no time at all came back with the golden ball. She took the ball from him and ran back to her palace as fast as she could.
Princess, come back! You promised to take me with you. You can't break your promise.
But the princess ignored to his calling and ran as fast as she could. She was relieved when she reached her room and soon forgot all about the frog. At night, while she was having dinner with her father, there was a loud knock on the door.
Open the door, oh princess! It's me, the frog from the pond. You promised to keep me with you. Being a true princess, you should keep up to your promise now.
Who is that? And what does he want?
The princess, being a little scared of her father, told him about the afternoon incidents. And how she broke her promise.
You are a true princess, my love, and you should keep up to your promise, no matter what.
Feeling helpless, the princess opened the door and let the frog enter. He hopped on to the seat next to her and asked her to let him eat from her plate. The frog ate till his tummy was full. But the princess couldn't eat a single bite, thinking about the slimy frog eating from her plate. Then the frog asked her to carry him to her bedroom and let him sleep in her bed. Unwillingly, she picked him up in her hands and went upstairs. The frog jumped on her bed and snuggled cozily in her huge, soft bed. The next morning, the princess got up to find the frog missing from her bed. Happily, she hopped from her bed, thinking that the ordeal was over. But as the night fell, the knock again happened. And again the frog ate from her plate and slept in her bed. Feeling sad about sharing her food and bed, she went to her father and asked him if she could stop now. The king again told her that a promise was a promise and cannot be broken. It was the third night when the frog came in again to eat and sleep in her bed. But the next morning, the princess was astonished to see that the frog was not in her bed. and a handsome young prince was standing next to her bed.
What? Who are you? Where is the slimy frog?
Dear princess, it's me, the frog. A witch cast a spell on me that could be broken only if a princess would let me eat in her plate and sleep in her bed for 3 nights. You broke that spell by keeping your promise, and here I am, standing in front of you. I am the prince from the neighboring country.
Would you like to be my wife?
Not able to resist the handsome prince, she said yes, but had something more to say.
Oh, prince, I would love to be your wife. But how would you forgive me for being so rude to you?
She was guilty like hell, but the prince was a humble man. He said,
Oh, my dear princess, I can understand your reasons and I am ready to forgive you. But you have to promise me that in future you won't judge anybody by the way one looks or the job one does. Everyone is equal, and that's how they should be treated, equally.
Saying this, the prince took her in his arms and decided to take her to his kingdom, where they lived happily ever after.
Oh, Tia, you are right. We should always keep our promises and help people in need. Thanks for the lovely moral story.
Come, Tofu, let's go and play some games now. For your favorite rhymes, stories, and more, join Kids Hut family. Subscribe here.